back there, 36 Ford.
And you were all home.
Yeah, right, that's a right
Oh,
on.
right, okay, right there.
Yeah.
And anyhow, I would take a gallon of gas out of each bus every night, put it in my car. I didn't take too much because I didn't want them to notice it. So I'd take a gallon and put it in my car.
You can't take him too many places.
We got this on video too. It's recorded now.
And also, you said for the story of your story is to be that the basement had a pool hall in it.
That's correct. There was a pool hall, and when we moved in
Do you know
there,
where he's talking about?
That's a store
Where
where-
Anderson Appliance was?
Right
right in the corner down
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Well, down in the basement, there was a pool hall, and there was a brown line, it was a wainscoting halfway up, and they still had the cube, that you cubed chalk from the ceiling that wound up the thing, you pull it down, put it on your cue stick, and then let it go, it'd go back up again. But they were still in the basement when we moved in there in '52. And believe it or not, the basement down there, they sold beer. And it was legal in North Jackson. There was actually, North Jackson was wet. Everybody said, no, it wasn't. I said, yes, it was. Nobody ever voted North Jackson dry. Do you know that? It was never voted dry, but they just assumed it was dry. And then, of course, now they voted it wet. But back in them days, it was actually wet. They built that building in '29 down there. 1929 It was Paul Kimmel's father that built that building down there. And,
Or was it before you guys?
oh, it was a grocery store. Tom's grocery store. What was his, what they call him?
Peter Baldwin.
Yeah, Baldwin's was in there before, but Tom was in there after that. When we bought it from Tom, their dad did.
I think Tom's got in it after the war started.
Yeah.
When I went to service, he was still in the Isley store.
Oh, was he? Yeah, I knew he was in the Isley too.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, we had the Isley's farm out here too in those
Yeah.
days.
He might want to talk, Paul who lived, he was connected. Paul was, lived out by the Isley farm. Can you talk about that a little bit, what that was like? Just, I mean, the littlest things are really interesting.
Well, yeah, I think my dad moved us there in '43. So I started school in '45, graduated in '57 with Hans.
Yep, we were classmates.
And Brad Smith, everybody knows Brad, my hero, our hero. Anyway, yeah, the Isley Farm was 252 acres, managed by Lloyd Burkhart. At the driveway, there was two huge milk bottles, wooden bottles, and actually one Halloween, one of them made it up the flagpole to school.
All by itself, huh?
Yeah.
Amazing.
But there was a lot of buildings on the farm. There was two houses directly on the farm complex. The Burkharts lived in the first one. And then there was a flat roof blockhouse right adjacent to that. That was for the hired hands at that time. Jay Moeller lived there. Jay died of appendicitis, a very young man, 41 I think or something like that. My dad actually took his place on the farm. Yeah, there's a lot of buildings on the farm. I can't remember all the details of them, but there was a huge cement driveway or a walkway that went out to a big apron. That there was 3 barns out there, a heifer barn, and a milk house, and a cow barn. The heifer barn, of course, was for heifers and the cows that were expecting. On the south end of that barn was a bull pen, a large pen for the bull. And also we put hay in that barn, and across from that was the milk house. It was a big milk house, even by today's standards. They had 2 rooms. The first room was where they did all the washing and the cleaning of the milking utensils. The second room had a refrigerated room in there for milk cans. And it had a very unique milk cooler strainer. I don't have a good memory of it, but I do remember there were two large doors that opened up. And you poured the milk in at the top, it would cool, and then it would run down like a washboard type
I
back.
remember that on our farm. I
Yeah.
thought I'd thought about
It was very unique. The water would cascade down into a trough, and when you put the cans underneath there, there was holes that the milk would fill into the can, and then when that can was full, you put a metal marble over the top of that hole, so it wouldn't run out on the floor. And then, anyway, that was pretty unique. I wish I could remember more about it, but anyway, then the cow barn was, I think, the showpiece of the whole farm. When you drove by 18 out there and looked back, you saw the cow barn. That was the first thing you probably saw because it was unique. It had 26 stanchions on each side. There was a walkway down the middle. There were two silos. No, one, when we first got there, a 45-foot cement silo, and then later on they put up a 50-foot silo. And there were 2 stories to that barn, but they were very low profile. There was windows up and down both sides, east and west, top and bottom. So I never saw another barn like it, and I think it's just when you drove down the road, like I said, I think that's the thing that identified the Isley Farm. Well, there was a big sign on top of the Hammer Barn at one time that said Isley Farm, or Isley Dairy Farm. But I think the cow barn really identified the farm.
And that
And the
was,
last sign said, Isley Baby Milk.
Yeah, well, then, of course, chip chopped ham made it, it's still available. I don't know where that came from. We never had, well, they did have pigs at the end.
Do you remember hay rides at the Isley Farm? Did you girls ever?
oh, maybe.
The band had hay rides there all the time. I think every year we had a hay ride there. That's what I remember.
George Holman.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, no, I'm not repeating it. She knows.
Is it really not repeatable?
It's not, it's not.
She got a look on her face. Yeah.
Doesn't that just make you want to know it?
Yeah, I forgot about those hay rides.
That's what I remember about those Isley Farm, was going on those hay rides every year, yeah.
And that was,
Our kids could have the things that we had, you know.
yeah.
And it was, I lived in Rosemont. I don't think there's a Rosemont sign anymore. Does anybody know?
They took those signs down when they did something on the road over there, and I contacted the county, and I said, you need to put those signs back up. Those signs were always there.
Yeah.
And they were going to make a sign and put it up, and I forgot about it, didn't follow through, and it
We
never
had
got
a
put
feed
back up.
mill down by the feed mill in Rosemont, down by the railroad tracks.
Yeah, talk about Rosemont.
And down by the railroad track was a feed mill, and then it turned into a grocery store. And then we had a grocery store at the center of Rosemont, Palmyra and Bailey, for a while. And then there's the old town hall across the street from our house. And they had events there all the time, too. And then it burnt down eventually.
Yeah.
And my mother called me and said,
It's 2 o'clock in the morning. you call
she
me.
gets once on the phone, right? And she's telling him that the hall is burning down, and he said, what'd you tell her?
I said, well,